Hi.
Okay.
It's been a weird couple of days.
Yeah.
Let me get a drink.
Get a drink. There we go. Let's see. You guys have one too.
Yeah, you guys have a drink. All right, ready?
Been ready.
Here we go.
All right.
Welcome to Flan-Again, a Mike Flanagan rewatch, brought to you by the Articulate Coven. For more information on the original Anne Rice fan podcast and community, visit articulatecoven.com and find more about this show at articulatecoven.com/Flan-Again.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Flan-Again, a Mike Flanagan rewatch podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Ashley.
I'm Brat.
And this round, we're talking about episode 7?
6.
6? 7?
6.
6?
It's
7?
6. I know for sure. It's
Goldbug.
Yep.
The Goldbug.
Yeah.
We do have a little housekeeping to take care of first. We've got some comments and things from our previous episodes that I want to share with you all.
Bring it on.
Yes,
Good to see everybody. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. We're so happy to see you. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
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 No, I didn't mean it as like,
Look,
yeah, sure.
listen.
I hope, yeah. Listen.
We don't know.
We know it's weird out there.
It's weird out there.
Go
It's
get it,
weird
man.
out there in them streets. This was on our 17 pounds of bottle
Excellent.
episode. La cutesy. At La cutesy. I love that. Love the rant about billionaires because so true, bestie, so true. And also Brett's enthusiasm about chimpanzees mauling balls and faces while Ashley is mildly mortified. Some very adorable little emojis there. Carly Gugino is so incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Preach. The first time I watched, it took me a second to catch on that she was the heart patient because her performance plus hair and makeup are so good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
She looks amazing. That's one of the reasons why it's so sad, because it's just like, she's just pitiful.
Fitting the part. Looking
she's
perfect.
Just pitiful.
Yeah.
And then we got this was on Drugs and Greeds, man. Drugs and Greed from At La Cutesy. This was the episode I was least excited to rewatch. Watching Leo hurt a cat was difficult, and like you guys pointed out, there's so much setup, it feels a bit jumbled. Yeah. But this breakdown made me appreciate it a lot more. Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
I wish we'd gotten to know Leo better as a character before he died.
Me too.
Same.
Me too, man.
His death felt less warranted compared to the other siblings. Yeah, and given that he was the only one amongst them that seemed to care about any of the others, it felt sadder.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I 100% agree with all that.
Along with Leo, Vic's death is one that evokes more empathy from me, even though what she was doing was clearly heinous, literally about to sacrifice a poor sick woman over a venture she knew would fail. Her motivations felt more external than internal, feeling the pressure from wanting the approval of her family as opposed to a sense of entitlement to legacy. That's a really good take on that.
That is a good take on that.
The scene between her and the remaining siblings was sad. She wanted to figure out how to fit her piece into the puzzle so badly. Yeah. Everything leading up to her death, plus the death itself, had a childlike quality to it that tugged at my heartstrings a bit. For real.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Doesn't she even call him daddy?
Yeah, she calls him dad. Like, it's
very heartbreaking. It's like and as she's kind of waking up and remembering what she had done, it is awful.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so glad Ashley has gotten her insomnia in check. Thank you.
Me too.
Staying up for 10 days sounds both miserable and scary. It is.
Horrifying.
It's a little bananas.
Horrifying.
A little bananas. We've got another comment. This looks like it's from YouTube at Ingrel Errol.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
What's up, Ingrel?
Ingrel Errol. A good example of night demons and paralytic sleep is in the series Evil on Paramount. We have not watched that yet, but it's on our list.
Heard tell.
The first season. The whole series is good, but that part was excellent.
Okay.
And then at K.13 says, yeah, except they call sleep paralysis night terrors when they are two different things. They are.
They are 100%.
Very much two different
Very
things.
different things.
And the characters using the wrong terms are a psychologist and a psychiatrist who definitely should know better. So annoying.
That's weird that slipped through.
Yeah,
that's weird that slipped through.
Yeah,
unless it was like intentional that they were screwing it up on purpose, that would be weird. But good catch. But yeah, that something like that should have been caught, right?
Oh,
with as much detail as they.
Oh, you would think.
Anyway,
you would think. And then I'm just going to make sure we got give credit to who is this? Oh, this was also at K.13. Did you notice this? We've talked about this.
Yes, we talked about this.
I don't think I read the whole comment, but I want to read it. Did you guys notice the kids always show up to scare him when he's about to dismiss or downplay his role in this mess? No shit. It's so true.
Yeah.
Once, like that's...
Anytime he tries to get out of any blame at all, they show it up.
Yeah, it's so good. On my second watching, I actually thought the one he throws the glass at wasn't Camille because the eyes look a little too blue, if you know what I mean. But I'm bad with faces and the light is bad, so I can't really tell. But I don't think Madeline has face cuts, so it probably is Camille. Silver lining, though, the cat was definitely never dead.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And then I think I have one more.
Man.
Oh, this is another one that we talked about at Noah Thinks. I'm glad that you spoke about the Simpsons Poe Halloween episode. That was my first introduction to his poems and storytelling. And it's cool to see how other creatives, especially ones as skilled as Mike Flanagan, have taken the original stories. Yes, for real.
Simpsons did that a ton of stuff. When I was looking that back up to remember whatever, there were they've done Poe all over the place. And
then we've got from Periwinkle 000.
Ooh.
Before I forget again, enjoyed meeting Brat in the series rewatch.
Hi.
That's Brat. You two are doing great breaking it down. I'm a Poe fan, so this is incredibly more up my alley than Midnight Mass.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
And thanks you guys for your feedback.
Appreciate
we love it.
Keep blah blahing at us. We'll blah blah right back at you.
Hell yes, we will.
It, y'all.
How are things?
You know, new year. We're doing it.
We
did it. We're having a new year. We're doing a new year.
Do it. We're going to do
the new year. Come what may. Let's hang out. We're going to figure this shit out together. It's going to be okay.
We'll limp our way through it
and figure something out.
Talk about horrifying things.
Yeah, because the world's horrifying.
Horrifying.
Let's talk about fiction.
On a very serious, somber note, we're sending so much love and light to New Orleans. It's a city we love, love. There was a horrible thing happened there on New Year's. We actually got engaged down there on a New Year's Eve. We love it. Yeah. If you guys listen to the Articulate Coven, Joel and I both adore New Orleans. We talk about New Orleans a lot. It's also a very important place in that Anne Rice world and in Anne Rice's world, period. So we just, we want to let everyone know that we're thinking about you in New Orleans and sending you so much love and sending our love and hope and good energy to everybody.
Yeah, man.
Because shit was... Let's talk about shitty rich people.
Let's talk about shitty rich people, shall we? Let's get to the things.
Let's get to the
business. Why you're here.
Which is the death of billionaires.
Yes.
Don't we love it?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't enjoy it?
I didn't get my wish of 2 more before New Year, but
eat the rich. So we've got this episode is Tamerlane's episode.
Yep, so many mirrors. You can call it so many mirrors.
So many mirrors in that house.
That's too many mirrors, man.
I've watched this so many times and I've noticed the mirrors, but I don't think until I was watching this time that I realized exactly how many there are.
There are a ton. They're everywhere.
It's like some weird, I don't know,
it's the whole vanity of the thing.
Yeah.
It's that part of the story of too much vanity going into there. But yeah, that house has huge mirrors, small mirrors, mirrors behind mirrors, before, they're everywhere.
Mirrors that if you look in them, you'll see yourself reflected into a million other mirrors.
Yes. Yeah. There's just there, and it's everywhere. You can't walk 2 feet in that place without seeing yourself, which I would hate.
Also, I
don't hate myself or anything like that, but my God, I don't want that much fucking motion on my...
No, and I don't need to look at myself that much, frankly. I mean, like you said, I like myself just fine, but I don't need all that.
It's too much. It's no.
Yeah, I didn't really notice until this watch, how many. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere in that house. That's not a huge apartment.
No,
either.
It's not.
It's a super tall apartment, but it is not.
At least what we see of it isn't.
Well, you see all of it.
You see the kitchen, that entryway.
There's the kitchen, the living room, the little entryway, and then
their bedroom.
The bedroom. And I mean, that's kind of...
And the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's just falling asleep all over the fucking place.
Man, dude.
When she falls asleep and hits that mirror in the bathroom.
Yeah, she's just in there just falling asleep. This is one of the most... I think for me, this is the scariest episode psychologically.
Yeah.
Because... you don't know what's real. You don't know where you are. You don't know when you are. The looking down, You fall asleep. Well, the tea's what goes off, but wait a minute. I had already pulled the tea off and I drank it already.
It's not like one thing she's missing. It's not like, oh, I woke up when the kettle went off. She's doing shit in her sleep that she does not remember doing.
The kettle thing, like, because you could see that one coming. You're like, the kettle's going to go off.
Scare the shit out of her.
Well, it does, but it's in her mind because she already pulled it off, drank it, fell asleep again, and forgot about that whole entire process. Dude, missing time and you're doing things.
Missing time is fuckery anyway.
It's really scary. It's really, really scary.
I don't know if anyone's as old as we are, but we both grew up on Unsolved Mysteries, which was amazing. Oh. But the scariest episodes to me were the missing time episodes. Missing time. Where like people, what the hell? I mean, they all assume they've been abducted by aliens. Could be. That's not what's going on here. This bitch is just not sleeping.
But at the same time, is there a difference? I mean, you're seeing things out of the corner of your eyes. Plus, this is in your family as well. Is that starting to hit her early, or is it because of the whole thing? Like that, I liked that on there because there are so many, like the mirror thing. There are a lot of different layers to it that if you really dig into it, she's going through horror and putting up facade after facade after facade after facade to try and protect herself. It's nuts.
Yeah, and building herself a wall so she can be emotionally detached from everything.
She's got to be the strong one.
She's the most detached person. Like, we see a little bit of emotion with her later on in this episode with Juno, which is kind of wild.
Amazing.
It's such a good scene, and we'll get to that when we get there. But she is so without emotion throughout this whole series.
That's her thing. She's snarky as hell.
Yeah, the only emotion you see from her is when she's just mean as hell.
Yeah, when she's mean. Yeah, that's how she communicates to everything.
But yeah,
granted, I understand that how she's under that much stress. Like, how could you not?
Oh, yeah, your fucking siblings are dying. You've got this fucking huge launch coming up.
All the kids died.
You got court.
Like, you are dealing with, oh no, the family, we've got to go into court. And I've got this huge thing that I've been working on forever coming to fruition. And that's before everyone starts dying. Yeah. So, oh my God, the amount of armor she's throwing and herself is crushing her.
She stays pissed at Freddy because he's such a waste of fucking space.
True.
And he gets all of anything he wants, basically, just because he's the firstborn.
Yep.
And so she's dealing with all that fuckery too. Like, it's poor gal. She got a lot going on.
She's got a lot happening.
And again, not the worst person, and not the worst person.
Yeah, pretty bad.
But not a great person. Like she's really fucking mean to Bill.
I mean, look how she treats Juno.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so
dismissive.
I wouldn't say she's a great person. No. She is an assholic rich person that thinks that they're better than
them. She's very dismissive and
very dismissive.
Yeah. Why is it speaking to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it? Yeah,
like,
she's
dude, it's
pretty awful. Don't talk to me about the junkie. Like, she's just so judgmental.
Judgmental and mean.
So judgmental and mean. She's taking all the sleep aids you could possibly take.
Everything that you could think of. Melatonin and Ambien. And I have done this before, and most of you have done it, I bet. You've got something important in the morning, and you are just go to sleep. Just begging yourself to go to sleep. And she's looking in that mirror above the bed oh my God.
And I have felt that just in the throes of insomnia so bad. Just go to sleep. You're begging yourself, please just go to sleep. Just, you're so tired. Please go to sleep. You're so tired.
Yeah.
And it is so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
That is a unique kind of frustration because you know what you want, and normally it's fairly easy to get after, but I mean, that I know I need to sleep.
Yeah.
And not being able to is such a weird, helpless feeling.
It is the fucking worst.
It pounds on itself. And it makes itself worse.
The begging that please go to sleep, please. Yeah. Like, I have done that crying before, just like begging for my brain to let me fucking sleep. It's so bad.
It's awful.
So we're seeing a lot of this scene that we're seeing here at the beginning is Tamerlane alone.
Yes, all by herself.
Bill's with her a couple of times, but she's alone a lot in this scene. And Augie, we flash to Augie and Rod, and Augie's like, okay, this is interesting, but like, you don't know this happened. You're telling me things that happened while they were alone. So how do you know that this happened? And he basically is like, they told me.
They told me.
They told me.
Like, what do you mean they told you?
Before they died? No, not so much. I've just had visits. There. I've had the visits. So not only is he getting these visits and these visions of them, they're coming to him and apparently disclosing everything that's gone down. Talking to him. Which we don't see any of that, but
isn't that scarier?
Yes.
Like, that's even worse that these things are sitting there and God knows how they're in his brain or whispering it to him or whatever. That's the scary part of it, is you have no idea how all of this information is it just being shown to him like a movie? Like, oh God.
Right. It just, that hit me a little harder this episode, this time than it has before too. I was like, because he does it. I mean, how the fuck would he know? But they told me.
They've
come and told me. They've told me how shitty they've come and told me how shitty their last moments were.
Yep.
Ooh,
yep.
That's fucking awful.
Man.
And we get to Roddy in his office with his sapphires.
Yep.
God. Yes. That little tirade is excellent.
It's such a gross truth.
Yeah.
It is such a gross truth that you can take something that is as precious as these stones were and what they meant and what they are for, and one at a time, tells you one at a time, right down the line. If you handle, all right, well, how much does the antiquities guy cost? How much do the cops cost? And you handle it and are patient one at a time. I mean,
and that's how much these priceless sapphires cost. But I got them, by God.
I got them. And all it cost me was patience and a little bit of money. I mean, and I ripped the eyes out of a goddess. I ripped the eyes out of a goddess. Does that make me a god?
So he says he ripped...
Baby, believe in his own hype.
So brilliant.
Woo, believe in his own hype.
I ripped through time and stole the eyes of an Egyptian goddess, is the line there. It's very interesting verbiage there. That is the same verbiage that is used, the gal uses when she's talking to Joe Cawley in Midnight Mass. And she says, you stole from me.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I think she said you reached through time, not ripped through time. You reached through time and you stole from me.
Yeah. But it's that same kind of...
Put me in that mind of that kind of like that.
It's that same thought process cadence of like, because that's a great thing to explore.
Yeah. And it just shows too all the manipulation he's willing to go through to get what he wants. He doesn't care.
And it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything at all. It doesn't mean... The only thing it means is that I did this extra work, so appreciate how cool I am.
Here you are. Here's a birthday gift. And it seems so paltry the way he said birthday gift.
Yeah.
Birthday gift for my sister.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like it's a trinket. Like it's just...
Yeah, it's just another little thing instead of having all of this other... And I guess in the grand scheme it is. But, having all this other meaning to... Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Wild. And... It should be in a museum. I'm with Indiana Jones.
Right.
Get that shit out of there.
Right. Owning
all this other crap.
Fucking grave robbing.
Yeah,
grave robbing.
And keeping it to yourself. Fuck you.
Should be in a museum.
Should be in a museum. Somebody punches you in the mouth.
I mean, his is coming. Don't worry, his is coming.
All right.
Madeline shows up. And,
Man.
Okay, let's also discuss how shitty Roddy looks.
I was going to say, he looks wild. He looks rough. Blood
on his sleeves.
Both cuffs down the front of him. And he's got
crazy eyes.
He's got them eyes handling that Kopesh just like, woo, okay.
Yeah.
he's starting to feel... It's that classic Poe madness that is in everything.
Yes.
He's starting to kind of, you get that first unraveling of that in his mind. He's like, well, if this is going down, then let's get it going. It's so great. He's so wild.
And you see like so many of these characters have those moments where they're kind of jittering apart into madness. Like Victorine definitely.
It's that classic Poe madness, man.
And it is. It's not going to hit all of the characters the same way. Oh. But man, the ones that get that, they portray it and show it so well.
Unravel.
And this has been such a long, disentanglement and unwinding for him. because he's been so in control so often. But like at this point, one of the times that the window blows in, he's on the ground. Like Augie has to reach down to him to help him.
And he does. And he still reaches down to him.
That's crazy.
Man.
We'll get to that scene specifically in a bit. But yeah. So Madeline shows up and sees Roddy looking a fucking mess.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
And he's like, yeah, she killed herself and she killed her lady friend too. And I was there. Also, I had to get this bloody thing out of there.
That's not what I think it is. Yeah, It's Fortunato property, baby.
Yeah. He pulled that
off of her heart. That beating heart mesh out of that corpse. So I guess his eyes look as wild as they should for what he just went through.
He's just done some shit.
Called up Pim and was like, brother, this is what happened. What did I do? He's like, go to the office. All right.
Well, go ahead and get that heart mesh and get to the office,
make
buddy.
Make sure you got that heart mesh. Yep. I mean.
Christ.
It's like, he looks appropriately like, well, fuck, that happens. And I don't know, man. I just had a really weird night. I just watched one of my kids kill themselves in front of me. Right in front of me. And so, yeah, he's messed up.
Yeah, that's a fucking thing to see. Bless you.
Thanks.
That would be some shit.
Dude, unbelievable. I guess you don't feel for Roderick right there, but you understand why he is like a little nuts.
Yeah, it's really hard to be sympathetic to him. He's such an asshole.
Oh, he's the worst.
But
you can
But you can see how he got there.
Yeah, somebody went through that. They're going to be dealing with that for sure. Feeling it. Really feeling the pressure of everything that's starting to crack down on him.
Yeah, because as Madeline... Still denying. Madeline brings up that Vic has a board seat. So now we've got the extra added pressure of it. Are they going to try to overthrow now there's business pressure, which he's not been worried about at all because he knows this court case isn't going to come to anything.
Yep.
But now they have to worry about maintaining their control over the company.
Yep.
Because their board members that are related to them have dwindled significantly.
Yeah, so they're control. So it's just one more horrible thing.
And Madeline is like, we've got to find that woman. Like her focus is on finding her. And she's like, this is what the problem is.
Yep.
And all he wants to do is focus on business. And I don't blame him. That gives him something to like.
Well, it's something he can actually
do something about. Yeah. So
it's get him back into his old ways. I know how to drop the hammer on people. I can be doing that. That's something that's okay, great. Something productive with my time.
Right. Something that is actually proactive instead of just watching the shit.
Just reacting to whatever is going on. And so, he focuses on that. She's like, no, this woman, you remember all this shit?
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy because she's like, he is just in such denial of it all. I get it. This is crazy. Like, this is crazy.
I mean, everything coming home to roost has got to be crazy for somebody that's never had any consequences.
Right.
That's got to feel like a plague has come upon your house or whatever. I mean, even though it is.
And now it feels like you're under attack. And and to him, it has to be something real.
Yes.
It can't be this sort of like fucking supernatural bullshit.
No, it's just
that we got into on New Year's Eve one night,
That was a byproduct of us murdering
someone and being fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, Lord. Juno, Roderick hasn't come home. Juno's looking around for him. She sits down and she's taking her morning Ligadone. And God, y'all, it's so many pills.
At least 9 pills I counted that she's scooped into the thing.
There was so many pills.
9 of one pill of anything?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
God.
That's too much of anything.
That feels like
they were in the meeting talking about how many pills of one pill is too many pills.
It's too many pills. And somebody's like, well, sometimes you have to take 6 of something.
Yeah. 9's too many.
9's too many.
9's too many to take. So it really felt.
How many Tylenol? How many Tylenol do you think you could take without killing your liver?
Without really hurting yourself. Yeah. That you'd kind of feel your liver dial.
Yeah. Yep.
9. 9's the answer, and I think that's the right answer. I mean, for me, that's the right answer.
So it just goes. Just keep that in mind if you're taking 9 of anything. That
you have 9 different kinds of
9
pills,
different kinds,
but 9 of the same.
9 of the same. Why is there 9? Why? That's a lot. Why haven't they figured out a way to make that 3 pills?
I'm sure they have. Like, that's the thing. There's a better delivery system. Don't take 9 pills.
Don't take 9 pills.
Unless your doctor's like, take 9 of these.
Yeah, we're not doctors. Fucking take your pills. We don't know. But 9 seems like a lot.
9's a lot of pills.
9 seems like a lot.
That's, for me, that's a lot of one thing.
9 seems like a lot. So she hears about Victorine on the news.
Yes.
The news was covering Victorine's, and it's a murder-suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was. And that's
yeah.
how it's being advertised on the news.
Big time.
Like,
of course, because that's the next big part of...
Yeah.
From the media's perspective, these people die in these fantastical ways, but now it is a murder-suicide. And so there's
she
more...
took her with her.
Took her with her.
Oof. And Freddie and Lenore see the same thing. Lenore's like, are we safe?
Yeah, there's an honest fear.
Yeah, she's
there's
like,
an honest fear with everybody except for Froderick.
Yeah, Froderick is like,
everyone else is scared.
He has the audacity to say about his siblings, about the bastards, as he calls them. None of them were right. None of them were.
Yeah, none
of them were right.
This is this episode. He's gotten there.
Yeah.
Well, Froderick's a bad one.
Well, he's coked up. He is doing coke.
Obviously coked up, like way coked up. You can. Whereas in the past, you could tell when he was on coke and when he wasn't. Now
he's just on coke. Yeah,
he's doing drugs pretty hard.
Yeah,
and is terrified. Got to be terrified, but but he's on drugs at the same time, so he's bulletproof.
Yeah,
so
That's
how he's hiding from.
Also, he seems like the type that doesn't do a lot of drugs.
For sure.
Like,
yeah, he's not.
Which is why Leo's like, okay, like, don't go fucking nuts on this.
Don't lose it.
Just have a little bump every now and again to keep your shit together. And I'm only giving you cocaine because you can't handle anything.
You don't need anything else. Yeah. No, he was. Oof.
And he's really starting to really become deranged.
Getting more and more sinister as it goes along.
Yeah.
He is becoming more dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, you can feel him becoming more dangerous. His daughter can tell.
His
wife can tell.
Oh my God, she's terrified of him.
Everyone is scared.
Yeah.
Like, everyone at this point is very, very scared, except for him.
Yeah.
Because he's out of his
thinks
door.
He thinks he's bulletproof.
Yeah. Always has been, so why wouldn't he?
He says, it just shows to go you.
Yeah.
Blech.
Sounds like...
You can never really know anyone. That's got a real vibe of how he's speaking in the early episodes, like when he's like apologizing to Lenore for like cursing, like it's like his cutesy like dad thing.
Yeah, this comes across as something Randall Flagg would say.
Yeah, it's so gross.
You know what I mean? Some Stephen King, just shows to go yet while he's then gonna bite your face.
Yeah, yep. I don't like that.
Yeah, that really had Flagg juice to me. I was like,
it didn't feel good to me. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's just that like cutesy kind of thing, and while you're saying it, it's so threatening.
It's folksy and threatening at the same time.
It's real gross.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's real gross. Lenore's like, really, like, where the fuck are these doctors?
Where are the doctors?
Bro?
Hey, Dad, where are the doctors? Did the doctor come today? Where are the doctors? Can we see the... And she's right, but she's a kid, and so nobody's going to give a shit about what she says. Mm-hmm. Like, even though she's a teen or whatever, nobody's going to pay any attention to it. No. Well, Dad keeps saying the doctors are going to come. Well, it's a very busy time, and everybody's fucking dying.
Right.
Lenore.
Get
on it.
Yeah. And everyone's just trying to distract her from everything bad that's going on.
Nothing bad is happening.
When she goes and sees her grandfather, he's like, let me hug you while I hold this giant Egyptian.
Hey! And he's in there dropping the hammer on folks, and it was like, oh, my daughter, come here. My granddaughter, let me give you a big old hug.
It's awful.
That was,
Then we
Roderick looked strong at that moment. Like, he was in his element.
Yeah.
And it feels like that might be like last gasp of him at full power.
Because that's in a couple of scenes where he's like making the phone calls about to the board members.
To the board,
trying to make sure he has support. So he's
I'm getting ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. That's great. We can be excited. We're allowed. Mm-hmm. We go to Tam and Bill at their apartment. He's there like, oh my God, I heard about Victorine.
Yeah, showing
this
up.
Is fucking
Still
crazy.
giving a shit.
Still giving a shit. Still showing up for her. Loves her. She is awful to him. She is so mean to him. I swear to God, she is so cruel and hateful to him.
Cold. Yeah, and
Cold,
cruel
so
is exactly
cold.
right. Cruel is exactly right.
And he tells her, you are not okay.
No.
Like, you're not okay. None of this is okay. This is not okay. And he tells her, all you've ever cared about is our brand. And that's where she goes nuts and is like, read your fucking prenup, buddy. You leave here with the clothes on your back, if that.
If that.
Oh.
Dude. Leave the keys.
Leave the keys. And then she starts getting apologetic.
And then turns on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Not just starts. Turns on a dime.
Yeah.
Gets, her change in mood right there echoes something.
It's a huge apology. She's like, I'm so sorry. I just really want to be able to prove myself to my father, to my family. I want to prove to everyone else that the Usher family can be about more than fucking pills.
Yeah. Get us out from underneath that. Yeah.
I want to do something positive. I want to redefine our family's name. And she admits that she's scared too.
Mm-hmm. Admits that she's terrified. But
then she's the fucking alone in there.
She was asleep. That was in her sleep because the keys are just on the thing there and she didn't see him leave. That's when she fucking fell asleep, was after she said that stuff about the prenup. Mm-hmm. Fell asleep, woke up, and he just was like, Can
you imagine how pissed he would be? How pissed you would be if you're having an argument at that level.
Dude, that intensity.
And someone falls the fuck asleep in the middle of it?
Well, would she even look asleep? It's just
I don't
like
know.
she just tuned him out and just was not like, and he's like, Tammy,
I guess I'll go.
All right, here are your fucking keys. Yeah. That change in mood is either an incredible cut or an amazing job on the actor's part.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
She's capable of that.
She's amazing.
Sure. She's
yeah.
amazing. She's so wonderful. Looks like an old friend of mine named Sally June.
Oh, does she?
She does. She looks like my friend Sally June. Sally June's very, very kind, as I've heard this actor.
Yes, everyone says Samantha Sharlien is lovely.
Is lovely, yes.
And it's not like this fucking heinous benches that she plays.
I love these characters that she plays.
As I said about her character in
Midnight Mass.
Bev Keane, yeah. I don't prefer to call women bitches, but it's really hard to not.
Listen.
She's a bitch.
Some people earn that title. You earn that. Some people just have earned that, and that's how it is.
But I do like that it's kind of like universally known that the person is lovely.
Yes. But yeah, I love that moment was so good. And it is jarring to watch. And you understand that, that's when she fell asleep. Mm-hmm. Because she can never, ever say the good things that she wants to say. That her mind wants her to say. That her conscience,
her heart maybe, is saying, I don't know.
Like her. That feels like genuinely her.
Yeah.
Because she is, I am the one that has to stand up for the family. Older brother's a fuck up and everybody else is dead. Mm-hmm. I'm the one that can turn the tide, right the ship, and get it going. So, I mean, she feels that pressure. But, baby, she absolutely crumbles.
Yeah, it's really awful. We go, Lenore's checking up on Roderick. This is where we get that. Roderick's got sword in hand. He's been making these phone calls. He's busting balls.
Yep.
He's feeling good.
Yeah. I'm immortal. He says he's immortal at one point.
Crazy.
I mean, like you remember this time referencing all the other times he got attacked and he destroyed them.
Yeah. And she's like, why is this happening? She's worried about her dad. She's like, something is really wrong with him. She can tell there's something so off with him.
Yeah.
And that's when he starts poetryizing her.
Yeah.
All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a few lines of dream within a dream.
Dream within a dream. Life is insane.
Yeah.
Madness.
And he says, what does he say? Reality isn't what it used to be.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Which for him is really true because he has no idea what's real and what's not.
No.
I mean, aren't they in the room?
He's going through a paranormal thing while going through his brain and heart dying.
Yeah.
So
which could also have a effect on his mental state and hallucinations and things. So
that's right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
So like he can't even tell if it's paranormal or if it's going crazy.
Well, he asked Tamara or Lenore. He's like, you see them?
You see them? Yeah.
She turns around. She doesn't say anything, but all four of the dead ones are just hanging out there.
Hanging out with him.
Staring. Looking rough.
See, and that's why it's such a shock to think about them talking to him because they're all just silent.
I like that. I love that choice that they don't speak, that they are silent.
Yeah.
But they talked to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the hidden part of the story that you won't ever get to tell or get to hear because it's too terrifying. It's like Gandalf talking about the nameless creatures under the mountain.
Yeah.
It's like they're too horrible to talk about. Like we can't discuss it. It's so good.
We found out too that Roddy is not sleeping either. So not only Tamerlane, he's not been sleeping either. Really healthy choice for
there's no way he slept that night. He had his daughter jammed a knife into his mind.
He talks about how he hadn't had to spend a night in the office, overnight in the office since the first launch of Ligadown.
That's right.
But yeah, so he did not sleep that night for sure. We see Pym at Vic's. He's collecting hard drives and such.
Being pimming
around. He also is picking up knives. I'm like, when they were like, that cannot possibly be Fortunata property,
right,
dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking murder weapons.
Just showing out the power that Pym has.
Yeah. But he finds a really interesting thing there towards the end. A dossier.
Yes.
The file for Verna as a patient for Vic and
Pamela Clem is the name. Pamela Clem is the name on the license.
I wonder if that's like an anagram for something.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I'll find out.
We'll mix that up.
I'll find out. I'll let you know next time.
Yeah. Yeah, so he finds the file. It's got Verna's ID in it. Her picture, he obviously recognizes her.
Of course, yep.
Takes note of the address and everything. We flash to Tam and Juno. Tam's looking for her dad.
This is great. Like, shows how alone Juno truly is.
So sad.
In this huge place. And she talks about, she's like, you ever been alone in this house?
And she's so small.
Yeah.
She talks about how the place makes her feel small.
Mm-hmm.
But she's so physically petite.
So physically small, yeah.
And she talks about the stairs, and I just think about, I'm like, she
got one leg.
She's got one fucking leg, and she's wandering.
There's
so many stairs. I'm like, she gets around great, but that can't be fucking fun.
No, fuck that. Oh my God.
And also it shows that he hasn't done anything to be accommodating.
To help, exactly. Yes. That she's to serve a purpose, man. And
no,
that's it.
100%. But yeah.
I like Tammy's knocks on the door and walks in, and she's like, fuck it. Fuck you. Hi. Like the fact that she even has to interact with Juno at all.
Infuriates her.
Just absolutely drives her up the wall. But after Juno is telling her all this stuff, it really does get to her. It really does get to her. She's like, I call him and he never answers.
The phone thing especially.
The phone thing is what really drives her home.
Yeah, I think so. I think that she thinks about all those times she's tried. And right now, she's trying to find him. She's trying to needs support. Him. She's about to have the biggest day of her career. She wants to talk to him and have some support.
Yeah, get dad support.
And
I'm sorry he doesn't answer the phone.
Yeah. It's not just you. It's all of us.
It's all of us. But I think that's one of the only kind things that she says throughout the entire series.
It is.
Because it really is. She does. That's the best that she can. It's not even, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole.
No,
and nothing. It's like, I'm sorry he doesn't answer the phone.
I'm sorry he doesn't answer the phone. It's all of us.
Yeah, it's not just you.
And she tells her, and then she's like, if you speak to him before I do, will you tell him I'm trying to get in touch with him?
Tell him that,
Like, so she's like.
So this is the connection thing. And Juno talking about, she's like, everybody, I loved the part where she's like, I've never had a family before and this is a family. And when something like this happens, it feels like everybody draws together. When something horrible happens, everybody draws together, but we've never been further apart.
Yeah.
It's so true. And tragic as hell. And that gets through to Tamerlane that it's like,
you're like, you're right.
You're right.
Mess.
And so she can't help but it is the smallest grain of kindness, but it's the only kindness that we really see her throw out there.
It's one of the few moments of kindness we see anybody really give Juno.
It's true. Yeah. It's very true.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Yeah, that's such a great scene. There's so much nuance in it. They're both so good in it. Juno's so vulnerable and fragile.
Yeah.
And Oh, it's fantastic. And then just in case she felt too warm and fuzzy, we got Madeline talking with her team about getting some algorithms ready to impress the board. She's like, they love the drugs, but what they love even more is something neat and tidy like an algorithm.
Yes.
These predictive algorithms that they've been working on, predicting things like weather, stock market, all kinds of
human
behavior,
all sorts of things.
Again, they're working on this consciousness mapping, which she reiterates means that you can live forever.
Yes, that's the whole point. That's their whole...
Which is her
desire.
whole jam. That's her
right.
whole jam.
Yep. It's a driver.
Pym talks to her and tells her about the file.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells her he's at the address, and he tells her that you're right.
You're right. You're being targeted.
You're being targeted.
You're being targeted. This is for sure 100%. You guys are under attack.
We are under attack. It's this woman.
Yep.
And she's like, how do you know? He's outside. She's used their childhood home address.
Yeah. Yep. Isn't that shit cul-de-sac?
That shitty cul-de-sac.
Just stand out front going, oh no.
The cul-de-sac of 3 shacks.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Rough. And so it's like, okay, that part of the mystery is starting to come together. All right, you are being targeted by this person. This woman is coming out.
So she knows she's right.
Absolutely. Yep.
She's like,
well, I mean, it's confirmation that it's over.
I'm right. You either have a little bastard running around or this woman.
Or this woman is after us. And this woman is after you. And she gets to the, Madeline gets to the, we made a supernatural promise.
Yeah, much faster than Roddy does.
And accepts it as reality, which has always been the case. Like, Roderick will put off everything. He'll always kick it down the road, and she's like, nope, this is the reality, and I'm dealing with the problem of it now.
She either consciously or unconsciously chose to make choices that are reflective of this supernatural deal.
That's exactly right.
He does not make choices that are reflective of that. Which we'll get into all that we're getting ahead.
We're getting there.
We're getting the fuck ahead because it's so good.
You see what's happening.
You see what's happening.
You're not dumb. You see what's going on as well. Yeah, dude, it's
yeah.
But she is she gets there faster. She really can recognize the problem and starts working on it way ahead of everybody else. The only person close is Pym.
Yeah.
Because he just needs to be
and it's because he's the one gathering the information. If she was cut out the middleman and gathered the information for herself, then she would be way ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
We get to Roddy and Augie, and they're talking about Pym. They're having this conversation about Pym, kind of like getting to know. It's kind of our first like real glimpse into getting to know Arthur Pym. Yeah,
a little more info.
Who I love this character.
Tremendous.
And they talk about the Transglobe expedition, which was a real thing.
Yeah, 1982.
That happened,
Finished in 82.
79 until 82.
Yeah.
It was the first expedition to make a longitudinal north to south circumnavigation of the Earth using only surface transport. British adventurer Ranulph Fiennes led a team, including Oliver Shepherd and Charles R. Burton, that attempted to follow the Greenwich Meridian over both land and water.
Okay.
They began in Greenwich, United Kingdom in September 79 and traveled south, arriving at the South Pole on 15 December 1980. Over the next 14 months, they traveled north, reaching the North Pole on 11 April 82.
Okay.
Traveling south once more, they arrived again in Greenwich on 29th August 82. It required traversing both of the poles and the use of boats in some places.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
it. So it's a real thing.
It was self-funded and sponsored. So this was, rich people.
Rich assholes.
Rich assholes.
But you know what? If you're rich,
have an adventure.
I mean, I guess that's, do something that's never been done before. That used to be way easier to do.
Yeah.
Nobody circumnavigated the globe this way.
Right. Let's go up this. Let's go up this line.
Let's give it a go. I mean, build a museum or a library, you dicks.
Or donate some money to.
They're never going to do that. Build a library. Build bullet trains or something. Yeah. Do that shit. Yeah. Whatever.
Something else that will make you more money, probably.
Anyway, so they go tells the story of that, and that they used to make a game out of it because you can talk to Arthur Pym.
Oh, and he'll
to
tell you a
point.
story.
He'll tell you a story to a point.
Yeah, but he won't talk about...
He stops talking about anything when they get to the North Pole. And he won't do anything, won't say anything. And apparently this was a game they played when
the kids
were little. Like, what happened? What's the end of the story? They would make up stories. What did Arthur do?
Yeah, I love that. I love shit like that. That's something we'll do at, like, bars and things sometimes when we're on vacation and stuff. Like, kind of make up stories for just random people that we see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's... All of you know somebody that's mysterious. That just doesn't talk. And nobody really knows, but everybody knows them. Like, of course, you're going to make some stuff up about it, and they made it into this fun little game. But what is it? Who did he tell? Which daughter was it? I can't remember.
Tammy.
He told Tammy. That's right. He told Tammy that it was that the Earth was hollow.
The Earth was hollow. That story is so great.
That the Earth was hollow, and that up there they found an island called Ultima Thule. And I did some research on that crap. And it means the most extreme reaches of the world.
Ooh.
It was coined by somebody talking about the famous portrait of Poe, the portrait of Poe.
Oh, yeah.
That he looks like shit because he was out partying the night before. That's what he named that portrait of him was Ultima Thule, the most extreme reaches of the world.
That's hilarious. That's what the name of that painting of Poe is, or that portrait of Poe is?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yep. And Ultima Thule was the nickname for a asteroid in the Kuiper Belt. Like the one that looks like a snowman. It looks like two of them that were mashed together. The first thing that New Horizons saw. The Kuiper Belt. So they called it Ultima Thule because it is the most distant of things.
That's very cool.
It's now called Arakoth. Which is Powhatan or Virginia Algonquin, meaning gloss sky or cloud.
Oh, lovely.
Yep. It was also came from the Greek traveler Pytheas was the first person to say this, that it was a mystical island north of England.
In the north of England.
It's also several bands, Sweden and Estonian bands are called that. It also featured in Final Fantasy XIV because it's the edge of creation.
There's a very nice backpack and luggage brand called Dooley.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's pronounced exactly. But
most extreme reaches. It's the farthest out. It's the undiscovered country. If you're a Star Trek fan kind of thing.
Love it.
But I did like that that's what his portrait is referred to.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great little nugget.
Yeah.
Great little Poe nugget. Yeah. Arthur was barely 25 during this time. Mm-hmm. They say, Roddy says, and he said Arthur Gordon Pym was bending this planet over while taking his piece.
Yeah.
Arthur was there, barely 25. Arthur Gordon Pym was bending this planet over while taking his piece. And we'll get more of that story when we have a really, really great scene with Arthur Pym a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But he chose to live. He chose to do something. And he's like, I like to think that he killed someone.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so it's like, it's a huge deal because you don't know. Well,
and the story that Arthur Pym's name comes from is Arthur Pym. It's the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. And it takes place, he's like a stowaway on a whaling vessel that's called the Grampus, which is what Lenore calls Roderick.
Yep.
There's a lot of like crazy shit that happens on that boat. Like, I mean, in that story too, there's like cannibalism and mutiny and all kinds of wild shit that I think they're trying to tie our brains to that for the transglobal expedition.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to think he's eating human flesh.
Yeah, I like to think he's eating human flesh. Like he really wants to think this man is like
Arthur Pym sucked all the juice out of the world.
Yeah, the mayor. I ate the marrow.
He won the game. He got all of the medals first, and now he just can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he gets to he beat the game, and now he's just exploring the.
Now it's just the open world.
The open
it's
world.
Like, how can I make things easier?
Yeah. Yep.
It's all side quests from here, baby.
And he asks, "Did he find him? Did he find her?" Augie asks,
"Of course he did.
Of course he did, but not that day.
Not that day."
And then he says something shitty. I mean, I can't even remember what the line is, but the window blows in on him. This is where he ends up on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's Tammy walking across the floor barefoot. There's broken glass everywhere. Her feet are bloody. She's in this gorgeous green dress. She looks amazing in green. And we get a pan up, and she's all face fucked up.
Cut up,
bloody,
bloody, dead eyes, broken neck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when Roddy's on the ground, kind of fetal. He's cowering.
The window exploded behind him. He's covered in glass.
Like, ducked down.
A ghost is coming around.
And Augie helps him up, and then we flash to the past. It's the same sort of scene where they're shaking hands, agreeing that they're going to go in together and get this evidence against Fortunato for Augie, for his company, for his insurance company.
Yep.
They're planning their moves. He's like, you got to get patient records, obviously, but think about other things. We want the consent for care forms. We want any sort of internal memos that it might be referring to any of this.
Yeah, anything with Brentley on it.
Yeah, anything.
Breivik, not Brentley. Breivik.
Anything with your forged signature.
Yes, paperwork, baby. The old-fashioned way.
Yeah, and Annabelle is really worried. She's like, she doesn't even want to do this.
It's dangerous.
She doesn't even want to help. She doesn't really want to help Augie. She's like, doing this part is dangerous. You're doing something illegal to help in this situation, which is dangerous.
To a horrible, horrible human being.
Yeah.
A known horrible person. I mean...
And she's like, it better not be a vendetta. This cannot be a vendetta against your shitty boss.
That's right.
This cannot be about your father's company. This has to be about doing the right thing. If you're doing it,
yes,
then it needs to be about doing the right thing. Tell me that the risk is worth it, and I'll believe you.
Yep.
And he's like, sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then we see an old basement, the basement in the old Fortunato building.
Old Fortunato, yep. The janitor's cleaning up and locking things up. Here's something. Goes back in, opens up one of these doors, and it's just a file room.
Yeah.
And looks in there, nothing in there, turns the light off and closes the door. Light switch on. Roddy's behind the door
with his flashlight.
Dude, Mike Flanagan knows how to hide people in plain sight better than any other director right now, or maybe ever. Because I mean, he's there.
It could be so scary.
He's there.
Like in Hill House. If you watch Hill House, which I'm sure most of you guys have, in the background there are just scary
all the time.
Scary ghosts in the fucking background of that movie. Constantly in that show.
In the very first scene in this episode, you see a reflection of Verna in one of the mirrors at one point.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like, she looks and thinks that somebody's in the house.
Yeah.
Because she saw her out of the corner.
Verna's in her house.
One of those stupid fucking mirrors.
Yep.
Anyway, but Mike Flanagan knows how to hide a human in plain sight, and it is remarkably done.
Brilliant. And the lighting in this whole thing is really great. He gets over to the copy machine, and then he's just lit from the light of the copy machine. It's really
cool looking.
Yeah, it looks really, really great.
Yeah.
We go to now the shit's really hitting the fan with Roderick, Pym, and Madeline. He's like, this can't be related to this. I watched Victorine kill herself.
She wasn't there. Yeah.
This woman was not there.
Mm.
I saw Victorine kill herself.
Yeah.
She did it right in front of me.
Yeah.
So I don't think this woman has anything to do with this. And then Pym pulls out all the pictures that they have of her related to our Usher kids. So we've got her fucking face in every one of these situations where someone's died.
Got her picture around involved somehow.
And then he starts... Oh, he says there's no bars. He's done his research. There's no bars.
There was no bar where you said there was. I've checked all of the female employees that worked in there. Like, you wouldn't walk 5 miles. They're like, no, it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And he's like, so like, I checked the address you gave me. That hasn't been anything since 1975.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I must be mistaken. He's like, well, no, actually, I did all this research. So, then he starts pulling out. He says, I used your check, Madeline.
Yep.
I did this massive image search. I used your algorithms to cross-check things and blah-de-da-de-da. And he starts pulling out pictures of Verna with...
the Koch brothers.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg. Trump.
What's her face? The mining magnate.
We just start seeing pictures of her with every fucking rich, wealthy, powerful family.
Ultra powerful, yeah.
And then we start going through time.
Wait, that was 1980.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that caught Roderick's eye is that one of these shots is from 1980.
Or 70 or something like that. Yeah, it was 70 or 80.
And then they're like, oh shit. Here's with the Vanderbilts.
Yeah.
And we get all the way back to the 1900s.
The Gettys. The Rothschilds.
What is it? The Triumvirate?
The Triumvirate.
The Triumvirate.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, exactly.
But it was all of them. It's everybody. And just always there.
Sweet, always looking beautiful.
1901. Had to.
Always dressed in the fashion of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy's like, this could easily be faked. And give me 5 minutes and I can have a picture of you blowing. Who does he say? Elon Musk, I think it is. Yeah. And he's like, no, like these, if you check the metadata
on all of these things, these have been here for years.
They've been here for years.
Like governments.
So it's either like a high level fucking a government. It has to be
the highest,
like CIA is sometimes fucking with us, or it's what it looks like, which is this woman is fucking with you.
We're getting messed with.
And Madeline says, this is the same woman, Roderick.
You know this.
Remember what she said.
And
he is not having it.
Nope.
He is not having it.
No.
He is in denial.
He's hard in denial. Like it is, he will not accept it like always. He just can't.
Well, also if he accepts it, then I think he has to accept that his success in life wasn't his.
It's something else.
So there's a whole fucking lot of ego that has to be unpacked for him to actually deal with
get to that
himself.
Point,
you know, God, he's such an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We flash to Moreira and Lenore.
Yep.
They're watching the Pit and the Pendulum.
Watch Pit and the Pendulum, baby. Next episode.
It's our next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, do you want to watch a movie or a TV show? And Morella's able to tell her she wants to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Just so excited.
Struggling, but
she hasn't been talking. This is like the first time Lenore's heard her speak. So they're going through Netflix and you can see Gerald's Game.
Yes,
it's like
the little Flanagan Easter eggs of the stuff that is in there. I thought that was cute.
Gerald's Game was on Netflix there. And she's talking. It's super exciting. Lenore's really excited because she thinks this is a good sign that her mom's on the mend.
Hold on. So in that universe, Verna is in the movie Gerald's Game. So it's the same person that is in this. So is Verna the creature or is she this thing? Like that exists in this universe. So like how deep does that go? That busts my brain.
That is very painful to think about. Did Verna have some deal with Stephen King and she's in that movie?
Right? Yeah. What is the deal? Like, man.
I mean, he did live through that horrifying van accident. Almost died in the 90s.
Yeah, that's right. I don't see him as that bad though. But
no, but we don't know. But
I don't know.
I mean, I'd hate to.
Money and power can be bad for you.
Money and power can be real. But he fucking bought like a local radio station.
Yeah, come on. It's Stephen King.
It's Stephen King.
Anyway, the Flanagan Easter egg on that one
is so great.
Shattered my mind for a moment, and I wanted to break yours for a minute too.
Completely blew my brain for a second.
Yeah, was like,
because I was just excited about the Easter egg, but now you're totally right. Because it's Carla Gugino.
Follow that shit down, man. Follow it down to the end.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, sorry.
They're pumped that Lenore's super pumped that her mom's talking. She goes out to tell her dad, like thinking he'll be so excited. Well, he's bowling and he's all coked up.
Way.
And she's like, it is weird that there haven't been any doctors. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, the doctors.
And he's like, no, she's good with us. We've always been so good to her, haven't we? What? I hate him.
No.
And then he goes in next. You see him next to her in her room, in Maury's room.
Yep.
And he said, I think it's neat you can talk again.
Yeah, it's neat.
Oh. And he's asking her how long she was fucking Perry. And she's like, oh God, no, I didn't.
That's all she's saying is no.
And he's drugging her with that paralytic that they were using on the monkeys, on the chimpanzees.
Yeah.
And so he really specifically is like, so you can still see me.
You're still aware, right?
You can hear me and you're still aware of everything. Cool. I just want to make sure.
Good. That's important. That's important.
So that's some fucking horrifying foreshadowing for us to all enjoy.
That's dude, somebody says that to you and you're in that situation. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, she's helpless. And she
couldn't be more
knows,
helpless.
like, she knew an episode ago that he knows where she was. And that is dangerous for her. She's in so much danger and she can't fucking move.
No, can't do anything about it. She's getting better, but is now getting fucking drugged.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's drugging her to make Lenore think she's not improving.
Yep. So that he can justify
and also
just keeping her.
Yeah, and he can keep control over her this way. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, this is going to get worse.
Where did you get that, by the way? Freddie, where did you get that paralytic, by the way? Just drove by the
maybe
the lab and picked it up.
Maybe the other brother had it in his house. Maybe that was some of the harder drugs.
Yeah, I mean, he had that street version of Ligadone. We go to Madeline and Roderick in the basement of the new building in today's time.
In the basement, looking at the wall.
He's just sitting there drinking and looking at the wall. And she's really just all she's trying to do is get him to go upstairs and go to the fucking Goldbug presentation.
Listen, it's the Goldbug, it's the launch. You've got to come up to the presentation. You've got to support Tammy. What are we doing here? What are you doing down here? I almost freaked out when I
heard your secretary said you've been coming down here a lot. What the fuck is the matter with you?
What are you fucking doing? Yeah.
And he goes, do you hear that? She's like, what? He goes, bells. She hauls off and slaps him across the face. It's so brilliant.
Yep.
I love it. She's so
Put your head out of your
done
ass.
with his shit. She says, shut your mouth. Get your shit together. It's so great. It's so great. I love it so hard.
It's good.
She is so strong and tough.
Dude, she is a monster.
And he's all pitiful. He's like, my heart is dying. My brain is dying. This shit's crazy. My kids are all dying. And she's just like, get your fucking shit together, brother.
We've got a presentation upstairs.
We got shit to do. Your daughter needs you. Get your life together.
Business needs you. Daughter needs you. I need you. Get your ass upstairs. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah. But he's like, I'll get up. I'm just talking to the wall.
Yeah, and he doesn't go.
No.
He doesn't show up for this presentation at all. He's not there. So it's time for the Goldbug launch. And we have a nice scene with Tamerlane and Madeline.
I love this scene.
I do too.
I like this scene a lot. It was it was different for both of them, character-wise, and you see how much Tammy takes after her.
Yes, you do. You definitely do.
In this scene.
It's and takes after a lot of her coldness too. And you can see kind of that's where she probably learned how to put up that particular armor, you know? And Maddie's being really positive. She's like, this is great. This is super exciting. You're going to kill it.
Pumping her up. Yeah, this is great. You were born for this. This is ready. You are saving everything. You are the one, man. You are doing, this is a really, she really is pumping her up.
Yeah, we need something like Goldbug. We need something positive.
Yeah.
There's just been so much shitty things.
Family needs it.
So brave and tough to keep pushing through this no matter what's been going on.
You're the one.
But Tammy's like, where's Dad? Where's Bill?
Where's Bill? How dare you?
Where's Bill?
What the hell you think Bill is?
You told him to go and get.
Yeah. Bill left his keys.
Sweet Bill.
Sweet Bill. As Ashley and I were watching this, I was like, what?
Yeah. Our faces.
Where's Bill?
Where's Bill? Fuck you.
Man, shut up. For real? Where's Bill?
Poor Bill T.
But that proves where she's at. She's not
totally disconnected from life.
She's not a part of reality at this point.
Yeah. And it's not.
She's just not.
No, it's not even she wants to be. You see it when she's earlier in the episode when she's falling asleep constantly. You see her notes. She woke up and it's she's got really rational editing notes on that script that she's going to use. And then as she gets deeper into it, it's fuck Bill T. And it's her name written numerous times. It's so wild.
You can tell she's losing it.
Madeline's just cold as hell in this scene in a couple of spots where she's like, I thought I missed my first husband. It was just a burp that the heart goes through.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, why do they always want kids? They always want kids. And when
they feel immortal, they want to fuck. And when they realize they want to die, they're going to die, they want to fuck.
fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But they're her like, ugh. They do bond over that kind of. Why do they always want kids?
Yeah,
Dude,
and it is
what?
like a.
Why?
I mean,
that is a valid.
It's a valid thing.
Absolutely,
especially if you're a woman that doesn't want kids. You got to be real upfront about that in your relationship.
You really do, and that's the right thing to do. That's
Yeah.
absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, the wrong thing to do is to keep harping on it when you already know
that somebody doesn't want
them.
That. Yeah,
Don't
you're not going to change their mind. Yeah. And if you do change their mind, everyone's going to be miserable.
Dude, everyone's resented in that scenario.
Tammy's being introed by her assistant, her poor sweet assistant.
Her poor sweet assistant's like, are you ready? All right, I'll give you 5 minutes to get everybody ready, and then I'll announce you, and you'll go out there.
And you'll go out there. It's going to be great.
Cool.
She's super pumped. All of a sudden, she starts talking, and then her voice morphs into...
Well, no, before that, like, she's like, all right, I got 5 minutes. Madeline leaves. She goes... And it's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's right then and there. So she falls back asleep, and it's like, oh, God. And now you have the... oh shit, I just woke up and oh fuck, I gotta get out on stage. So your brain is not in the right, is in an even worse state. Like, that just woke up state.
Which is fucked up enough alone, like when you're like, wake up from a nap in the afternoon and you're like, what time is it? What day is it?
Yeah, what's going on?
Is it work? What am I doing?
And then, but to have to then go out into a crowd of people and cameras and all sorts of shit.
It's like that combined with the pressure of like, you almost missed an entrance in a show.
Yes, it's the exact thing.
Oh shit, I almost missed my entrance. Yep. And also, fuck.
All right. And so she goes out there, and you were saying?
Well, her assistant's introducing her, and you can hear her voice. It's Verna's voice.
Yeah.
And Tammy just yells out, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yep.
And then she has to really, really spin that. Because she looks out, and it turns out she goes out, and her assistant turns around and is like, I
have a house.
She's just the sweetest little girl with a little bob and a fucking clipboard.
Yep, doing her best to really do the job.
Can you imagine being that woman's assistant? No. It would be horrible.
Oh, you're not a person.
No, I mean,
you're not.
At least they're not inviting you to fuck like Camille was. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. No, she likes to have professionals.
Yeah, she wanted pros. Yeah, and unrelated to the. Yeah, she
dude.
She's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I'm so excited. Pardon my French. I'm so excited. And then
she's doing good.
She ramps up into the presentation. She's like, all right, these are the things that I'm memorized. These are the beats of the moment. She is doing well.
Yeah.
Like, does very, very well. You can feel her power as a speaker and as a leader coming through. And then
because she is proud and confident in this work, and it is really a smug, stupid brand, though.
It is like, the smuggest of brands.
It's like a subscription box for the richest of the rich.
Yeah, this isn't Goop. This isn't Peloton. This is the next level
of opulence and self-actualization.
That's right.
Yes.
Opulence and self-actualization.
So she's killing it, but then she looks out into the audience. She sees Juno, and then right behind Juno, who is it?
It's Verna.
It's Verna. What's she wearing, Brat?
The same green dress.
Same fucking dress.
Same green dress.
That Tamerlane has on.
Yep. And so she starts freaking out.
And then it's, what the fuck are you doing here again? And then Madeline, boom, on her feet right then.
Yes.
She doesn't see Verna yet.
Knows something is wrong.
But she knows there's something wrong. She's been watching. You can see her times where she's like, oh, you're doing good. And times where she's like, oh, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Like she's judging.
She's been real like, ooh, okay, good. Ooh, like she is.
Yeah. It's like watching a parent of a gymnast at the Olympics.
That's right.
Do the routine.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
But she's keeping it much more cool than that.
Very much more. Not much more, but she is not.
It's mostly on her face.
Yeah.
But yeah, clearly she knows something is fucking off. Now we're seeing the advertising videos, the advertising pictures now have pictures of Verna instead of her.
Yep.
So everything that's showing up on the screen behind her is Verna instead of her.
Yep.
And then
getting taken over, and so she's freaking out a little bit more.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's a sex tape.
Yep, it's the sex tape.
It's a sex tape of Bill and Verna, and Tammy is giving them
tells them
very explicit directions.
Yes.
I want you to lick her armpits and then eat her out.
Yep. That's number one off the top.
I laughed so hard at lick her armpits and eat her out.
I've had a tough day.
I've had a tough
That's
day.
as much as said. I've had a tough day.
I want you to lick her armpits and eat her out.
And then eat her ass while she's reading a book or reading emails.
Yeah.
It was like,
reading a book or reading emails.
So you get this is the nitty gritty of what we saw previously. Of like, here's the actual business of what is going on.
Yeah, this is after the romantic dinner, and she is totally in charge of the sex scene.
And is a complete dick about it, too. It's like, ugh.
Could you just try to act like I'm not asking you to do like a fucking root canal or something?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Basically is what she says to him.
Oh.
So she grabs the mic stand and then starts just fucking bashing.
Screaming, turn it off. And it won't. And so she grabs the mic
And that's
stand.
not what anyone else is seeing. No one else is seeing that.
No, everyone else is just saying the stupid Goldbug promo stuff. Yeah.
She bashes the hell out of
the TVs. All the screens are all messed up.
And then she turns back around, sees Verna again right behind Juno, and chucks that mic stand.
Screams, fuck you. And throws that mic stand.
Which knocks the ever-loving hell out of Juno, out of her chair. It's just...
Those are heavy. If you've never, felt like a mic stand, like a real, mic stand, those things are heavy on the bottom.
Yeah.
She got decleated.
Fucking decleated.
Dude, she got rocked.
The one-legged girl.
This poor woman who's there.
The one-legged drugs girl.
At one point, and it's like, what are you doing here? I'm just so proud of you. She's just so sweet.
Because when Tammy is saying this crazy shit out to Verna is placed right behind Juno.
There's a blonde woman behind Juno.
It just looks like she's yelling this shit at Juno.
Oh,
which is
poor
awful.
Juno gets just destroyed. And I'll tell you what, I host an open mic, and I have for 8 years or something like that, and I've watched people melt down at microphones. Many, many times. I've seen many things that are bad. And the actor had to have watched some of these people go through some of this, because some of it is so textbook. Like the way that you stammer, the way that you kind of hold the mic and start twisting, start sweating, the way you start moving. Like it was the worst one ever, but I've seen things that are in that vein of people freezing up or people fuck you and lashing out because everything is failing. And she's got hallucinations on top of all of that. Ooh, baby.
Yeah. My favorite fucking part of this scene, which is Madeline sees Verna.
Sees her on the other side of the
and she doesn't see the Verna that Tammy's seeing. She sees the Verna she knows, the Verna from the bar with the bob and the curly hair and the really pretty blouse, and she starts running after her.
Just plowing through the crowd.
Through people. She tries to grab her. She even says, I'm here. Here I am. I'm here. And she grabs her and she just turns to smoke. Just dissipates.
Yep.
It's so intense. I love that moment.
Yeah, it is.
Because she's just like, oh, fuck, I'm right. Oh, God, it's as bad as I thought.
She's like, oh, no. Yeah, it's confirmation of what she knows to be true.
Thought is real.
Yep.
Then we get Tammy's going home. She gets home. She's fucking freaking out. Her phone's ringing in her hand. She throws it across the room.
Full on. Get in the house, slam the door, take everything, shoes, jacket, everything off of your body because you can't have anything else on because you are losing your mind.
Yeah.
Freaking out.
Because not only has she had this this huge professional embarrassment, she also feels like this very personal violation as well. This personal stuff from her life has been shown to all. She doesn't know that they didn't. She doesn't know that they didn't see that. So she is having. She
feels like she's being exposed by a stalker.
Yeah,
that's what her mind.
Because that woman's in her fucking house, and that woman, she keeps seeing her. She sees her everywhere.
There.
So. The next thing that happens after she throws her phone, you hear Verna speaking.
Yeah, the phone's ringing because Bill's on the
And it's Bill.
calls.
Verna's talking to Bill. Oh, it was terrible.
I'm so sorry that I was so terrible to you. This day has been awful. I'm so sorry for how I
pretty much saying everything that you know Tamerlane would like
she
to
wants
be
to
saying.
say. She wants to be able to say it. That's the horror of it.
Yeah.
That it is all the stuff that she would really want to say.
And it's so sad. Like, that's the sad part of it, is that she could be a totally different person.
It's in her. That part is in her, and it got burned out by
he killed it.
Expectations and money.
Yeah, her dad killed it.
But then she starts going around the place. She goes over and sees her on the phone, grabs a fire poker, and just is going to destroy her, swings and hits one of the stupid mirrors that's in the place.
One of the 8,000 mirrors that are going to be broken in the next 2.5 minutes.
Well, and she swung for the fences.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those, if you end up spinning around, because, I mean, she swung through just like how you're supposed to hit somebody.
Yeah.
You swing through, and, oh, man.
Yeah.
Caused her to fall into the glass.
Yeah.
Come closer to the glass.
Yeah, and she is, as this is happening, Vernon's just fucking with her throughout the house. Like, she even says to her, you absorbed your own twin.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's how fucked up and selfish you are. You absorbed your own twin. Like, that takes some...
Maybe it's
her.
Me. Maybe it's me. Maybe
and then she says, no, I'm actually you.
I'm actually you. And she's like, why are you doing this? And she mocks her by... Why are you doing this? That's the exact same intonation.
Like
she's wandering out and keeps seeing her and is smashing every single mirror that she gets. She gets a big chunk caught in her face. She gets a big chunk caught in her foot.
She's pulling shit out of her feet for a while, and then she just stops even giving a shit about her feet.
Yeah, just like walking over all of them.
Glass in her face and her feet. And Verna tells her, it's your last chance to be perfectly still.
Yes. Well, and she's on the bed at this point, screaming, and then she has a turn where it's like, I fucked it all up.
I fucked it all up.
And she says that over and over and over.
And she's crying, and she's like,
like, this is your last chance to be still, kind of thing. And
she's like, I just want, and then Verna says, some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, she sees her above her.
Yeah, she looks up and sees her.
Obviously, no one's surprised to find out there's mirrors above this fucking bed.
Of course not. No. She reaches her hand out from the pillows to grab her, so she turns and hits the mirror
behind
the headboard. So there's glass all
over the bed.
There's broken mirror all over the bed. Turns and sees her up there, and does the most dramatic,
so cool,
beautiful throw of anything. Like, she jumps off of her feet and lets it go, lets the fire poker go up into the glass.
Yeah, and it's all slow-mo. We see her her body kind of come up, go horizontal.
Yeah.
And land on the bed, and then...
And you see on the bed, the pieces that were already there have gone...
Yeah.
And they're up, so she goes...
And then glass raining down, huge piece.
Just right in the throat. And she gives it one twitch, but she's done pretty fast.
Yeah, that's the end of our Tamerlane.
Yeah, and that was it. That episode messed me up. The first time I watched that, really, I felt very, very uncomfortable.
It is really uncomfortable.
Because it just was, psychologically, everything that she just went through, and all of that pressure and all of that failure all at once.
And the fuckery of seeing... The fuckery of the doppelganger thing is really wild to me.
Yes, yeah.
So Tamerlane's name comes from the poem Tamerlane.
Mm-hmm.
And in that poem, the title character is a warlord with a broken heart.
Oh, well, who knew?
And then Bill comes from a story called William Wilson, which is about, there's like a doppelganger. It's a doppelganger story. So that's kind of where the crux of Tamerlane's story with this doppelganger comes from. So that's this episode.
It's a good one. I really like that.
There's a lot.
After watching it the first time, that was the one I kept kind of going back to, as far as like, man, there was so much. It was jerky and
and the thing is, so much of the exposition is done.
It's done. We're done with the train's already rolling, man. We're
down to the nut cutting.
Yeah, things are,
as my dad used to say.
Yeah, and things are going down.
And so this episode is just really packed with action. Aside from the few moments that are like, oh, we're realizing, but even those moments, there's moments of realization. Like, we're realizing that Verna's the same woman. She's been all these places. We know, and Madeline being like, oh fuck, I remember talking to this lady,
You get those 2 moments with Tamerlane being an actual human being.
Yeah.
Very, very slight. But, I mean, you do get
Again, it's nice to see. It's like when we...
Well, it
like,
makes it mean more. It makes you go, oh, God. Oh, this is... It does all go back to
because
Roger.
she doesn't ever seem vulnerable.
No.
She is, because everyone that acts like that is, but she can't ever show it. But neither can Madeline. That's part of the curse of being a strong woman in this family.
Yeah.
You got to work twice as hard as the men and put on some armor.
But it goes back to Roderick and Madeline every single time.
Of course.
Like
this was their doing.
All of it was their doing. Like all of these things, all of their worst tendencies, all of their worst selves are because of them.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because of them.
So our next episode is The Pit and the Pendulum.
Pit and the Pendulum!
Where we finally see Freddie get his due. Oh, it's delicious, y'all. I'm so excited.
It's a good episode. This is also an uncomfortable episode.
Oh, it's awful.
It is very...
There's some really awful parts in this one. But it's one of those, it's really satisfying.
But it is that classic, I mean, this is one of those, everybody knows this poster, or at least knows the imagery of it.
Yeah.
Or has seen it presented in a cartoon or something. Like, it's, of this thought.
Yeah.
This thought process. The swinging blade thing.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. So we're going to have a good time with that coming up. And then we'll hit up our final episode, which is The Raven, which is my favorite episode of the series.
So good.
It's so good. There's been some Flanagan news out lately, so I want to hit some of that up before we let you go. This has been a really long episode. But really quick, Clayface has been announced for 2026 for DC, for James Gunn. Mike Flanagan wrote it. They had no intention of doing anything with Clayface.
Good. I love that character. And Flanagan, they got, what's his face to play him?
Flanagan wrote it, or pitched it, wrote it. First draft was awesome. Gunn was like, oh, this is really good. Second draft, he said, was even better. So he was like, I guess we have to fucking do this now. So that's going to be, that's slated for 2026.
Good. Alan Tudyk playing Clayface.
Oh my God. I love him.
Yeah.
We've got a Carrie series coming up on Amazon that's been announced, which is going to be really fun. Not sure how we're going to make a series out of that, but I don't really give a shit. I'm excited.
They'll figure something out.
That's Stephen King property, Carrie, about the telekinetic, girl with the crazy religious mother. He's also going to be working on an Exorcist movie coming out, I think, in 2026 as well.
Good. Everybody's just giving them their...
Yeah, everyone's like, do whatever you want. Dark Tower series, of course, it's already been announced, but we're super excited about it. Again, that's another Stephen King property, which I love Stephen King.
Listen, if he can't make that work, then nobody can. Nobody can. Because I've tried to read those books.
My greatest dream in life is that this is going to be so good that I have to... that I'm like, oh, I'm finally going to get through these books.
Never been able to.
I've never been able to.
I abandoned it. So I'm hoping, I mean, if anybody can, it's him.
It's him, yeah. And then finally, last bit of news, Neon, which is releasing Life of Chuck, has announced a release date finally for Life of Chuck. We have to wait until May, kids, May 30th of 2025, but that's going to be great. That's another Stephen King short story from If It Bleeds. So yeah, that's what's coming up in the Flan-Again universe.
Nice.
For us, we've got 2 more episodes of Fall of the House of Usher. We also have our sister podcast, The Articulate Coven. We will be starting on the Mayfair Witches next week. Yeah. That premieres this weekend. So we'll be starting watching those witchy witches, and doing episodes weekly about that, as well as if you're a part of our Patreon crew, you can pick what books we're going to cover next and what series we're going to cover next on Flan-Again as well. Ooh. So, everything you can find for us is at articulatecoven.com. You can also, you can find both of our podcasts there. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think you wrapped it up nicely.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. People.
We're so happy you're here. And cheers to whatever's next.
Let's get them.
Let's get it going. And we will see you soon for episode next, which is The Pit and the Pendulum.
Correct. Mundo.
Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you for watching Flan-Again, a Mike Flanagan rewatch from the Articulate Coven. If you want our videos and audio early and ad-free, visit articulatecoven.com/join and join the Coven.